Kaga ha Alibaba aka ba. Nan ko da cin nan wucin nan. Mun fara da nan fa. Dan gyara nan gurin fa. Dan gyara saboda sanin ma. Ofisa. Ka tare mana fa.
Akwai kamera. Ofisa daidai ka to your back. Back. Remember to just put on top your feet.
Leave that place. Leave that place.
There's no doubt this occasion is an occasion worth attending, because it is an occasion where public enlightenment is being emphasized and the role of stakeholders in the prevention of the drug abuse in Kano is being emphasized. Kano State used to be number one in drug abuse, but there is great improvement, but still we need to do a lot. Happy security agencies, especially members of the Joint Task Force, are up and doing, and that is why we are getting all these sophisticated drugs which will soon destroy. Evil of drug abuse, there are so many. All the crime that we have all over the country has been aided by substance abuse, especially crimes like banditry, armed robbery, kidnapping, cattle rustling, even including domestic violence against women, against parents, against brothers and sisters, violence along the streets, violence in the market, almost violence everywhere is being aided by drug abuse. Therefore, it is our responsibility as a government and all other stakeholders to ensure that this menace is being stamped out of Kano State. It is because of this that we have already presented a law to the State Assembly in order to come up with an appropriate law preventing drug abuse, which we call Drug Abuse Control Agency. When the bill is signed, appoint Director General from the pharmacist, Kano State, to ensure that this war against drug addiction is taken to the doorstep of our youth. It is also important to know that those who are already addicted, the youth, we have established the Reformatory Institute, which we expanded, including the women's section, because women are also involved in drug addiction in Kano State and all over the country. So after detoxification of the addicted youth, we teach them some relevant skills, provide them with an empowerment so that they go back to the society and become good members of the society for the socio-economic development of our state. Therefore, I urge all stakeholders, NGOs, and all other associations, especially the National Youth Chambers Council of Nigeria, to double their efforts in public enlightenment in our schools and among different youth associations, so that we reduce and stamp out this menace. With this brief, I thank the Chief Executive of NDLA and all his management for supporting Kano State in this warrior's task. Thank you, and God bless.
To carry out this legal responsibility of the agency as mandated by the agency's Enabling Act and the courts. I feel relieved each time this exercise of public instruction of drug exhibits takes place, because it is the concluding part of our tortuous operational, investigative, and legal processes in combating drugs to ensure that while the traffickers are dealt blows, the drugs are not recycled back into society. The law has made it mandatory for the general public to be part of this exercise, so as to take the message home that drug trafficking is not only illegal, but as precious as drug traffickers consider their drug consignments, there's only one sure destination of being reduced to ashes while they spend their days behind bars. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that from all considerations, drug trafficking is not worth the trouble that those involved get into. This event is, however, certain for the fact that the agency is conducting this critical exercise for the second time within the space of 3 years in this particular command. Only in November 2017, the agency destroyed 54.244 metric tons of illicit substances in Kano in this very ground. Today we are here to destroy another 28,167.629 kilograms of drugs. As we speak, we still have about 25 tons in our custody awaiting for feature by the courts before public destruction. Inasmuch as this feat is a clear indication of good performance by the NDLA, it still brings to the fore the sad reality of the extent and prevalence of these deadly substances in Kano State. Like most states of the Federation, cannabis sativa remains a major problem, since of this heap before you, 11,979.831 kilograms have been confiscated. Compounding this problem in Kano is the unacceptable quantities of other psychoactive substances not otherwise prevalent nationally. Psychoactive substances in this heap before you account for 50% of all the seized unlawful drugs, standing at 16,001.249 kilograms. Certainly, Kano has an admixture of all the drugs of concern to our national well-being and security. These include, among others, cocaine, heroin, ephedrine, methamphetamine. Excepting cannabis sativa and some emerging trend in methamphetamine production, all these other drugs are imported into Nigeria. This is, however, a continuous demonstration of political will by the federal government, as evidenced by putting more stringent regimes for the importation of codeine with cough syrups, in addition to insisting that the legal dosages of tramadol acceptable in Nigeria remains 50 mg to 100 milligrams. The prompt intervention of the Kano government, the NDLA, and some NGOs such as Form 1 and the Truth Awareness on Drug Abuse, the Hisba in Kano, the ugly trend in Kano is gradually being contained somewhat. However, we are not there yet. Many families with the challenges of drug-dependent persons abound. It is in the same vein that the entire society is battling with a litany of social vices and extreme violence, aggravated obviously by substance abuse. We therefore need to sustain the momentum of public sensitization and awareness of drug abuse, because the increased awareness will make people become properly equipped to cope with any form of pressure from drug peddlers. All hands must continue to be on deck, lest we relapse. At this juncture, I would like to commend the efforts of the Kano State government for making no pretext about the drug problem in Kano State, and has continued to support the efforts at dealing with the challenge in Kano in the steady sustainability of government policies. Successive administrations in the state have maintained the efforts of the previous government. The government of His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, OFR Karimul Islam, has been very supportive with his drug eradication initiatives, as the Commander Kano State has enumerated. Similarly, we acknowledge the Elders Forum, the Kano Intelligentsia, the business community, the traditional leadership, who have all contributed in the battles to salvage Kano from the scourge of illicit drugs. I make haste to note that if other states cooperate with the NDLA the way Kano State has done, will have long coasted into an early victory in the drug war. So that I don't leave here with misinformation, the commander alluded to the fact that there is a senior special addiction for drug in Kano State as the only one. He is one of two. There is a similar appointment in Abia State. I would like to thank all of you for your time. God bless you.
Start by thanking His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, for sparing his precious time amidst his tight schedule, despite even the rigors of the election that took place in Edo. He still found his way to the NDLA State Command Office. That is good and highly commendable. The hallmark of a good leader always is to have the interests of his subjects at heart, in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of security. And this is what Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje stands for. This occasion wouldn't have come at a more timely period than now, when the UN conducted a survey in 2018, and the survey clearly indicated that 14.4% of Nigerians are into drugs. Approximately 14.4 million Nigerians are into drugs, with the Southwest leading with 22.4%, and Lagos topping the list of the states with high prevalence of drug abuse. And the index for the entire world is 5.5%, which means Nigerian index has tripled that of the entire world 3 times. That is a thing for concern. For any meaningful government or administrator, it was definitely a priority in this area, especially because of the linkages between the taking of drugs and the commission of almost every criminal activity under the sun. I want to also commend the Honorable Chairman and Chief Executive for changing the paradigm of NDL when he came and realized this gap and lacunas to be filled and ambiguities to be filled as far as the operation of NDL is concerned. So what he did is not to condemn the policy that is already existing, is to bring a superior policy so that all existing policy will now become obsolete. I think Dr. Mustafa Abdullah deserves a round of applause. And he also changed the narrative by making the repressive kind of investigation of NDLA, which is not leading to maximum success, to that of proactive, where intelligence-led policies is used, which led to the arrest of small, medium, and high-profile criminals. And that is why we are here with this humongous seizure of 28.167.629 kg. And these are just a tip in the eye because it's just the point that we secure conviction and forfeiture. We still have more than 25 tons already awaiting, which means His Excellency and the Honorable Chairman and other dignitaries in no distant time will still come and burn the remaining exhibit. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, part of this 28 kilogram tons that was recorded by NDL includes cannabis sativa 11.979.831 kg, psychotropic substances 16.001.249 kg, cocaine 7.157 kg, heroin 2.192 kg, ephedrine 120.6 kg, methamphetamine 56.6 kg, and the total is 25.708.816 kilograms. One of the yardsticks or indices for measuring whether an organization is making success, especially law enforcement agencies like NDLA, is the reduction of seizure. Your Excellency, you are well aware that last time we came here, we destroyed over 54 tons of drugs here. But now it has come down to 28, which means NDLA and the state government and all our stakeholders are really winning the drug war. And that is why in Kano, the most drugs that are used are tramadol, cough syrup with codeine, pentazocine, E5, roche, and so on. But one that have the highest prevalence is tramadol and cough syrup with codeine. To show that NDLA is recording success, in 2016, NDLA made a seizure of 25 tons. In 2017, it came down to 8 tons. In 2018, it came down to 7 tons. In 2019, we are not talking about tons, we are talking of kg. We got 141 kg only. Then in this year, we have only 45 kg, which means NDLA is really winning the drug war. In terms of cough syrup with codeine, in 2019, we recorded 7.068 tons. Then in 2017, it came down to 3.9 tons. So what happened now when the cough syrup codeine was banned on the 11th of August 2017? After, so we made a season of 1.8 tons. You can see that it's coming down. Then in 2019, it came down to 141 kilo, not tons this time around. Then this year we only have about 49 kilograms, which means the prevalence of drug abuse in Kano is really coming down. NDLA is winning the drug war. This is good and highly commendable. This my remark will not be complete without mention of the role played by His Excellency and Kano State Government in collaborating with National Drug Enforcement Kano Command by showing commitment on its own side by making our work easy, by making provision for the necessary logistics for us to perform maximally. The Kano State Government established the Joint Task Force on Drug, which comprises of members of the Security Committee and members of the traditional institution, and equip us with vehicles and all the necessary logistics we deserve. Kano State government is the only state government that have a senior special advisor on drug in Nigeria. Kano State government is the one that have a state-of-the-art rehabilitation center in Peru. Just recently, the governor renovated the rehabilitation center with over 140 million and equipped it with a state-of-the-art equipment on rehabilitation and integration. So much that the Presidential Advisory Committee on Drug had to take the sample and make recommendations to the federal government for it to be established in all parts of the country. I think Governor Kendrick deserves a round of applause. If you look behind you, there is already a building of rehabilitation center there, which His Excellency, the governor, have started, and it has reached lintel level. And in the last time he came here, he promised completing it. And I know, and I'm very optimistic, that Kano people are people who always redeem their promises. And His Excellency is not an exception. But at the same, I want to use this opportunity to once again remind His Excellency about the completion of this rehabilitation center, which can accommodate 150 drug-dependent persons. I want to end my speech by talking about a popular quote by the chairman and chief executive of NDLEA, which says, "If human beings can learn how to swim like fish, if human beings can learn how to fly like birds, why can't human beings learn to behave like humans?" Behaving like humans entails truthfulness, trustworthiness, sincerity, empathy, at the same time becoming law-abiding citizens. And that is the message that I leave for drug offenders. Because as far as NDLEA is concerned, we are going to leave no stone unturned. We are going to go to all the nooks and crannies and make sure that we apprehend these criminals, take them to court, secure conviction, confiscate their property, so that the property will not be used for sustainable economic development of the nation. Because NDLEA mandate normally uses one stone to kill two birds. My speech will not be complete without mentioning the former commander, Hamza Umar MNI, OON. Part of this season that we are born in includes the one that he has done during his time. Hamza Umar, OON, MNI, you are welcome. What we did here in Kano State is to append and gloss upon what he has done by making spectacular arrests, by making high-profile mode of concealment that are going to be utilized by law enforcement agencies, and by also unraveling syndicates of drug abuse and the discovery of clandestine laboratories, then the high season of cocaine and heroin. And you will well remember the case of Zainab, who had a luggage planted with drugs, which the Honorable Chairman used his diplomatic expertise to secure her release. If not for that, she would have long been executed wrongly by the Saudi Arabian authority. I think the chairman deserves a round of applause. Finally, I want to leave this message to drug criminals in Kano. That as far as drug abuse, trafficking, and dealing, we are going to make sure that this Hydra-headed monster is brought down to his knees and the final submission. So I want to say, as far as we are concerned, the die is cast. Thank you.